How's everybody come through the international break? Son, Romero and Johnson, are they available for Monday?
It's been a pretty good sort of international break for us in terms of guys. Sorry, it's all right.
Should we start that one again, James? Yeah.
Yeah, go again. No props today, please. No songs on your phones. Go on.
And has everybody?
How are you? Sorry, it's just a Martin Tyler there. How are you, mate? Yeah.
And has everybody come through the international break? Okay, Son, Romero, and Johnson, will they be in contention for Monday?
It's been a pretty positive international break for us. In terms of availability, the international players I'll address first. Everyone's kind of back, and medical reports all seem to be good, so no real issues around the guys from a fitness perspective. Also, not just from that perspective, but got a couple of senior debuts with Destiny and Mickey getting some runs in there, and in terms of playing for their national team. So it was a good break. Gio Van Celso played for Argentina as well, which was great. So those guys all came through it well, and then with Brennan, he's had a good solid couple of weeks of training, which has been good for him with the guys who've been left alongside Benton Core, Brian Gill, and they're all good. So in terms of obviously being a Monday night helps us in that respect, but all international players should be available. Brennan, we'll just see how he goes next couple of days.
And how far away are we from seeing Rodrigo Bentancur?
We'll be careful with him. He's actually, now he's sort of fully training, so that means, he's into the whole session. We've sort of drip fed him into training the last sort of month, and he's coped pretty well with that. Now he's into full training. We've got to be mindful that he's missed a fair bit of football, but I think the more he trains with the first team over the next sort of few weeks, we'll sort of pick our moment. But he's looking good at training. Like I said, it was great to have him for the last couple of weeks, sort of fully integrated with the guys who are here, and looking forward to getting him back.
During the break, you received the Premier League Manager of the Month award for September. Has the start to the season gone better than expected? And following this start, what do you think is achievable for this group of players?
Well, both those questions sort of are predetermined by some target I may or may not have had, and they didn't have a target. So wherever we are is where we are. We've had a really encouraging start to the season. Obviously honoured to receive the Manager of the Month, but that's sort of representative of a larger group of people. The coaching staff, all the football department are working really hard at the moment to create an environment and a training sort of base for the players to perform. And fair to say, I think, apart from the results, which have obviously been pleasing, is I think we've had a level of performance in every game, which has made us really competitive against all opponents, home, away. We've had some eventful games within that context, but again, that's kind of given us a real sort of great, strong foundation in terms of the character and resilience of the group. So it's been an encouraging start, and where that leads us, we'll find out.
Seb.
Hi, Ange.
Yeah, mate.
Just spent the international break in the lead. How did that feel?
The same as any other international break. You kind of first few days you kind of welcome it, and then the next few days you kind of seek in the next contest. So we're in a great position in the league. I think that's reflective of, like I said, our performances so far. But it doesn't really sort of change the way I'm thinking of kind of what we're trying to build here. I'm at pains to say we're still very much at the beginnings. So my main focus is continual improvement in this group, because there's a lot of young players. We've got a new group, new leadership, a new way of playing. All these things are all at the early stages. That's undeniable. Whatever start we may have had, good, bad or otherwise, doesn't change the fact it's still the beginning. So not my challenge, but my focus is on making sure we keep improving, because the worst thing you can do is, if we'd had a poor start, is to, and I've done that in my career where, the beginnings haven't been great, but what I've done during that time is make sure we stay true to what I wanted to build and the beliefs we had. And it's the same when things are going well, because if you get sidetracked by how you're currently tracking and move away from what the plan is, then the traps are there for you to sort of stumble.
Do you still feel like this has reinforced a new status for Tottenham in the Premier League this season?
That's not for me to judge. That's for others to judge. My sort of thinking around those things is always, how we present ourselves and how we perform is going to be more sort of indicative of how we're perceived than us trying to, make any kind of statements around that fact. So, that's for other people. I think there's probably at the moment a little bit of a curiosity around us, same way there is around me, that, why is this happening and how is it happening? I get that, because there's nothing beyond that to sort of give you some sort of idea of what sort of trajectory we should be on. But so I understand that, but again, that's not really what sort of, for me, is really important right now.
Funnily enough, you're playing your next 3 games in London, whilst other teams around you in the table will be travelling around Europe. Do you think that's something you have to take advantage of?
It is what it is. I mean, we've also only had 3 home games this year so far, We've had 5 games away from home. So, that's been a challenge in itself, because we've seen, particularly at our stadium this year, we've had some cracking games, 3 cracking games, and the supporters have helped us in that, but we haven't had that for 5 games away from home. So it is what it is. Whatever the challenge is before you, whether that's, multiple games away from home or, like I said, in London, that's the challenge that's before us. All we've got to do, like I said, is try and maintain a real focus around the level of performance we have, and make sure that, we don't allow ourselves to kind of think about what's gone before us, and more importantly, what's too far ahead of us. What's really important is we've got a real tough game Monday night against a really strong Premier League opponent.
Martin.
Hi, Ange. Really nice to see you over here.
You too.
Congratulations on what you've achieved so far. Yves Bissouma's not going to play on Monday. How much of an issue? You've had 2.5 weeks to think about what you're going to do. I'm not expecting you to tell us what you're going to do, but how much of a thought process has gone into the replacement?
Yeah, look, I think that's always a kind of a constant in I think every manager's head. You're always kind of looking at, you're realistic enough to know you're not going to run with the same sort of 11. And every week there's always that, you wrestle with what the best sort of lineup's going to be for you. You're looking at everything, the fitness, the form of players, the way they're training, the opposition. So as you said, with Biss, missing out this game, we had to adjust without him at Luton in the second half, which I thought we did awfully well with 10 men. But we got some options in midfield. Certainly Pierre is a ready-made replacement for Biss, and he's been training really hard. He's obviously probably wanted to play more, because he's pretty much been a constant over the last 2 or 3 years in that midfield spot. And but when he has come on for us, he's done really well. And for me at this stage, he's the logical one to come in. But we've still got a couple of sessions to go.
Just one question. I'm not sure it's been asked before, but I've not been here before. With Harry Kane going, it seems, looking at the results and the performances, that everybody else in the group has taken on a little bit of extra responsibility. That's what it looks from the outside. Is it the same from the inside?
Yeah, it's not something you consciously do. Ultimately, the players know that if you're around long enough, that no one, well, very few people, stay in the one spot forever, and people come and go. And obviously, Harry going was a significant sort of exit for us as a football club, as much as it was as a football team. Because he was such a strong force for so long. And you're looking at how do you replace him? Well, I was, I'm not the sharpest, but I was pretty quick to realise you're not going to replace him like for like. You're never going to find another Harry Kane, because it doesn't exist in terms of somebody who has been at this football club for he's, as they keep saying, he's one of their own here, and top goal scorer, captain of England. I wasn't going to replace, so we had to look at how we were going to do that, and gave us an opportunity to try play a different way, set up a different way, and that's what we've tried to do. Now, whether the players have felt that extra responsibility, what we've tried to do is actually take that responsibility away from them and not worry about individuals trying to fill that breach and just say, look, what's going to help us is to become a really, strong football team in terms of having multiple attacking threats where hopefully on any given day we can hurt teams in many different ways. Thanks.
Down to Rob, please.
Hi, Ange. Brian Hill was back in the squad last time out against Luton. What kind of role can he play for you over the coming months?
Yeah, it could be really important for us. He's one, like I said, last couple of weeks. It's been great to have him just working really hard at training. He's obviously missed most of all of this season so far, and well chronicled that we lost Ivan and we lost Mano, who kind of play in that left wing sort of position. So having Brian fit and available again is great for us. But he's, I guess, in the same boat as everyone else. He'll at some point he'll be afforded an opportunity, and then it's up to him. He certainly has all the sort of criteria and credentials to play in that position for us. And like I said, his training's getting stronger now as part of the group, and I'm sure he'll get an opportunity. We've obviously, like I said, we've got a Monday night game, but then we back it up with a Friday night game. So we're probably going to need good deal of the squad to deal with those two games over the next sort of 5-6 days.
With Giovanni Lo Celso not getting a lot of football this season because of that injury, did the international break just come at the perfect time for him?
In a sense, like I said, the pleasing thing is that he's obviously very highly regarded within the Argentine setup because they always call him up, and he played in both games. He didn't play significant minutes, but again, he played in both games. Played 15-20 minutes in the second game, so it's great for him and his sort of confidence. Like I said, he's kind of unfortunately had a disrupted early part of the season for us, but again, another player who. We haven't really had a contribution from, and I guess that's a pleasing thing for us. As good as we've been, there's still a few players we've mentioned so far. Brennan and Bentancur, Gill, Lo Celso, who haven't really played at all for us yet. Having them back, just even in terms of training, raise the training level, and hopefully, they're the kind of things that hopefully will give us that. Sort of focus to maintain and keep improving our performances, because when there's competitiveness around the squad, training and playing, that's just sort of guards against any sort of complacency or anyone sort of feeling comfortable about things.
Since your last press conference, Johan Lang's been appointed as technical director. Can I just get your thoughts on the appointment and what will he bring to Tottenham as you build for the future? Yeah,
look, I've had a good couple of chats with Johan now since he's been appointed, and I think it's fair to say it's a position that we needed to fill, and with all sort of big football clubs now, they've become such an important part of the function, knowing that for the most part, recruitment these days, I said I think a couple of weeks ago, there aren't too many hidden gems out there. Everyone knows what's out there, and having people who are really adept and qualified in sort of seeking out the ones that are going to be a good fit for us are important, and that's kind of Johan's brief, and looking forward to him getting started. And obviously we've got the January window not too far around the corner, so I'm sure he'll be keen to get involved as well.
We'll finish this section with George, please.
Hi, Ange. I just wanted to go back to Pierre-Emile. I mean, in a sort of parallel universe, he could have been playing for Fulham. They wanted him on transfer deadline day. No move sort of went through. I guess a lot of players in that situation, might have struggled afterwards, but it seems he's been the constant professional. I think he played the next day at Burnley. He obviously was very influential against Liverpool and Luton. How impressed have you been by that kind of professionalism that he's showed, even though there has been uncertainty over his head?
Yeah, look, I mean, in terms of him going anywhere, I don't think there was any time during the sort of transfer window where I felt Pierre was going to move. I mean, I think, discussions I'd had with him was that, he was here and wanting to contribute and sort of be part of what we were building. As I said, it's obvious that somebody who's played regularly would have wanted to play more, but ultimately, our performances have been strong. He's had to bide his time, but he's also been very important in a lot of the games who, as you know, we've won late. or have had to sort of shore up late, and he's been one of the people that's helped us do that. So it's not like he hasn't contributed at all. He's been a really important part. We wouldn't be in this position if we were just reliant on our starting 11. Fair to say, if games had finished at the 80-minute mark, we wouldn't be finished. We wouldn't be in top spot. So not just him, but all the guys, and it's something we impress on all of them, is that, as disappointed as you are about not starting, it doesn't mean you're not playing. You're still playing at some point, and what you do with those minutes is, going to help us be successful and help push their own cause. And as I said with Pierre, it's he's a professional. He's like I said, he's very determined to win a spot in the team, and he presents himself well every day. And over a 38-game season, all these guys will get an opportunity at some point, and then what they do with the opportunity is up to them. And in the meantime, what's important is, if they want to keep getting opportunities, that they train well, and when they do play, because whether you start or not, you're playing, is that you contribute to the team.
And in the same position, obviously, Bentacle's back in full training. How far away is he from actually playing in a game, or could he potentially be in the squad, I guess, on Monday night?
No, he won't be on the squad Monday. Like I said before, he's just started training, so we'll kind of take our time with him. He's missed a lot of football. We'll have a look at sort of the next few weeks, the games we've got, and when we feel, we've seen enough for training and he feels comfortable, we'll slowly reintegrate him back into the team.
And just finally from me, Dejan Kulusevski was playing for Sweden on Monday night when there was the incident in Brussels. Have you spoke to him since he's come back, and is he available for Monday, or is it that maybe one you need to think about sort of further down the line? No,
he's fine. I had a chat to him, and like everyone else, he's we shake our heads at these things where you go to a football game and these kind of things happen, and it's it is. It's sad, and it's kind of confronting how close it comes to your own world. No, Decky's fine. He's back. He trained yesterday with the team, and he's ready to go.
Cool. Okay, we'll end the broadcast section there. We'll move on.